And one of the things that has really stuck with me from that news conference was Captain Flannery. When I asked him, did he have hope that the missing crew member will still be found alive? And he said, absolutely. I dug even deeper into those dead-end cases in Virginia Beach, Hampton, and Newport News. Looked at the lab results for that suspected spice. You don't know that those are other names for spice.
So ask me questions.
You don't have anything to say about the disfigurement or leaving instruments in patients' mouths?
But we know that this attack has affected nearly every target across the country. Returning to the military watch, yesterday's jet crash is the second Navy aircraft to go down in a week. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, it seemed like spring, but today there is no doubt it's December. Listen, if we get snow, it's Kurt's fault because he is wishing, hoping, praying for it. Bigfoot is real.
Are they like people with big feet?
No, like Bigfoot.
Oh.
Like Bigfoot.
There's been a Bigfoot sighting around town center. Wait a minute.
Come on, Blaine. Come on.
Check him out.
Uh-oh.
Or one of the important things you have to do to keep warm out here are some dance moves. Here's one from New Orleans that I'm bringing back, the Josephine Johnny. Tap your foot like this.
Modeling site called plussizemodeling.com posted this photo on its Facebook page. This doll could be a representation of someone. Another doll that looks like me could be another representation of a plus-size doll. I mean, there are so many different shapes and sizes that beautiful plus-size women come in. Hell can be a place on earth if you're addicted to spice.
I felt like I had to have it.
The paranoia, hallucinations.
I thought the whole apartment complex was going to come down.
The pain.
I remember throwing up blood right afterwards.
Do you think that you would be alive today if you had not quit spice?
I probably would have been in a hospital, would have committed suicide. Somehow I think it would have killed me.
News Channel 3's digging reveals the gateway to the hell Charles experienced is wide open in Hampton Roads. Stick around. We'll soon expose the loophole in the very law aimed at banning the wannabe weed.
You tried the blueberry?
Yeah, it's my best seller.
News Channel 3 went undercover in Peninsula smoke shops where spice smokers tell us they've been buying the stuff. They say it's marketed as incense.
Best bet is either to go with Joker or Anonymous.
When we asked for it by the names addicts say they used to get it,
Just got Mr. Blue.
Yes. What size?
Gram.
cashiers handed it over every time.
Like 3 grams, so.
Like 3 grams?
Yeah.
And you want something strong, like reservoir dogs or the hedgehog?
You're looking at an example of the loophole in the law. It's a portion of suspected spice Hampton cops recovered during a smoke shop bust in 2011, but not one person wound up getting charged. You see, the state code banning spice lists several chemical compounds that spice makers spray on plant materials to create a marijuana-like high. Those compounds are called synthetic cannabinoids, but the chemicals found in this bunch didn't specifically match what's listed in the law. No matches, no charges, one big loophole. Is there really any end in sight to seeing spice come into your lab?
I don't think so. I think there's too many combinations.
State forensic scientist Brian Meinweiser says tests for suspected spice samples almost always reveal they're laced with something, but state laws haven't caught up with how spice manufacturers are manipulating the compounds banned in the law.
Several hundred base compounds that are synthetic cannabinoids, and they'll just take those structures and change them slightly to make them not controlled in the United States.
News Channel 3 sifted through more than 1,000 Virginia spice court case outcomes since the law went into effect. We did the math. Turns out more than 70% of those cases go nowhere in court. Now, I dug even deeper into those dead-end cases in Virginia Beach, Hampton, and Newport News, looked at the lab results for that suspected spice, and they all pretty much said the same thing. Many of them came back with some type of chemical on those substances, but nothing considered controlled in the state law. This clerk at Cosmic Creations,
Hi, I'm Jessica Larche with Channel 3.
leaned on that very loophole when we went back to confront him. He even showed us the chemical compounds listed on the packet are not listed in the law. Why do you think it says it doesn't contain those things, so it can skirt the law?
I'm not sure.
And this clerk at Outer Edge Gifts had no problem admitting what she tried to sell us. Do you know why people are buying that?
No, I don't.
So you don't know that those are other names for spice?
So ask me questions. I'm not going to talk to you.
Same story at Hampton Pipe and Tobacco. We're just trying to see if y'all are aware that people are using that to smoke like it's spice. You aware of that?
You're not allowed to do that.
ask you to move.
You can just walk in and ask for it and get it.
Recovering addicts like Charles say that era of smoke shops being untouchable is what will continue to pave the pathway to hell.
How far does it have to go?
A lot of members at this house.
At the footsteps of this 13th Street home in Newport News lay the pieces of a father's broken heart.
It's just hard, just the not knowing, you know, where he's at, what he might be going through.
It was here 33 years ago today when a woman claiming to be a social worker told David's mom she was taking David to a Christmas photo contest. It was all a lie.
When somebody takes a child from you like that, it just hurts. It hurts.
His misery magnified because he happened to be in jail when David was born and when David was abducted. So for 33 years, Fred West has held on to the only moment he's ever shared with his firstborn son.
He was so little. I said, then I look at him. It's good. Yeah, that was the last time I saw him, but...
In the years since then, David's mom, Vanessa, died, and West says the heartache only fueled more bad decisions, putting him in and out of jail. That's where we found him 2 years ago, when News Channel 3's efforts pushed authorities to reopen the case.
I pray a lot about this, and I ask the Lord, if he's still alive, he's out there, that he'll be reunited with us.
Months before finding David's dad, we tracked down David's big brother, Frederick Blockett.
When you have your brother snatched from you, you're going to think about him.
You see, the abductors stole Frederick and David that day when she came to the house. But she dropped 2-year-old Frederick off in Hampton, a note with his address stuffed in his pocket. Days later, David's diaper bag found tossed on the Colonial Parkway. No trace of them since.
Why? Why did this happen? Why did y'all take him? Why? You know, what was the point?
Those questions now the focus of investigations by a private investigator, Newport News Police, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. All since News Channel 3 took action to find out what happened to Fred West's firstborn son.
Do you have faith that David will be found and that you'll see him again?
Yes, I do. I have faith that God will bring him here, bring him home.
When we met, West told me he didn't want his son to meet him in a jail cell. But on this anniversary, he's free and full of hope his son will hear this message.
If you're out there, David, and you're hearing us, or you're hearing me, know that you're loved and you're missed, and everybody wants to see you come home.
There have been several new promising leads in the case over the last year. But if you know anything, you can still take action to help find David. We've set up a Finding David tip line at 446-1350. You can also call the crime line. Any detail, no matter how small, could be the very piece to the puzzle needed to solve this case. Jessica Larche, News Channel 3.
That grace is unmerited favor. It's something you don't deserve. This for me is not something I deserve, but it's a blessing that's come. I get emotional because, sorry, wow.
Inside Steve Vatsina's orchestra room, the miracle of music shines through every note.
White, pure, clear, clean.
And flickers in their eyes.
I see in my students' eyes endless possibilities and dreams and desires and passion.
It's that passion that's put Mr. V on a path to win music's highest honor as Educator of the Year.
This all kind of brings up all of these emotions in me, to know your life makes a difference, to know that the words that you speak and the attitude of your heart is affecting kids' lives for their future.
His classroom, a crossroads of his past.
Mom and Dad decided that I was going to be a musician, and so I chose the violin because it just seems so cool.
And their futures.
Because I believe they all have a calling and a destiny.
Mr. V's He's been teaching more than 2 decades, and in between the waves of his baton, thousands of students' lives changed. In fact, it was a former student and someone that he mentored who submitted him for the Grammy Award.
Who is Mr. V to me?
And as part of those submission videos, one student explained how Mr. V used music to mend broken hearts.
I didn't have many friends. I actually got picked on a lot in school. He had this talent, this gift of giving to people just selflessly. And I feel like he gave that gift to me.
Mr. V spread that gift all over the world, taking students on mission trips, using the power of music to weave worlds together. And for years, he humbled himself in front of the school board, begging to keep music programs funded. The fruits of that labor made sweet when his kids took home a top prize.
And you know, teachers complain about we don't get paid enough, and would I like to have more money? Absolutely. But you know what? I get paid in that look. You know, you were talking about the eyes of a child.
His riches ring out in this orchestra room and fall on ears eager to hear hope in between the notes.
Music's a language that I think the heart has to be involved with. It's a passion, it's a communication.
What is that song to describe this moment?
In my heart, I know that this moment isn't something that I earned. It's something that's been given to me. It's an amazing grace.